Dear Shauna and Vern, YouTube deleted my channel, jwpsa, on December 19th, 2024. I'm sure they did it after a request from the JWs, probably in Norway. And as you know, I have a website, jwpsa.com. We'll look at that in a second here. And it exposes Jehovah's Witnesses and their lies and their hypocrisies and their teachings. So he says, I was present at the appeal hearing for the part of Friday the 7th, all of Monday, February 10th, listening to the state's witnesses, who were former JWs. They gave strong testimony that I really believe will support the state's case. And I sat beside Lasse Strømkvist, and he sent me these two videos. And I'll just show them here. Yes. So do you allow me to publish them on my website? Absolutely, yes. Anybody can publish any of our videos, share them. You don't even need our permission. Just use our videos. It's all for the effort of stopping these guys. Okay, well, we're going to take a look at a website, and we're going to take a look at why YouTube deletes videos. Okay, we're going to talk about does YouTube have country restrictions? Some YouTube videos may not be available in your country for the following reasons. The video owners have chosen to make their content available to certain countries. And YouTube may block specific content to comply with local laws. Now, Norway's laws protect the rights of activists, including freedom of speech, assembly, and association. The country also has a declaration on human rights defenders that outlines the rights of human rights defenders. Freedom of speech. Norway Constitution protects that. The law prohibits threatening, now here's the clincher. The law prohibits threatening or insulting others. So I guess if you're a JW, maybe you thought that the website insulted you, you might complain, I don't know. Or inciting hatred based on certain characteristics. So we have to be careful. Hate speech is also criminalized, including online. So we have to be very careful what we say. And other rights, the right to strike is legally guaranteed except for members of military and senior civil servants. All workers have the right to engage in collective bargaining. And I'm just going to look at Canada's laws on freedom of speech. Does Canada restrict speech? The Charter protects the rights of the press and other media to speak out in Canada. We might have a little bit more lenience, but what are the 6 limits of freedom of speech? The main such categories are incitement. What's incitement? Defamation. Defaming someone. Fraud. Obscenity. Child pornography. Fighting words and threats. So those are the things that we have to be careful with as onliners, or we could have problems.
Inciting is encouraging.
Inciting is encouraging.
Or
getting others rallied up to do something.
Right
on. Okay, so here's the website that jwpsa.com exposes Jehovah's Witnesses and lies, hypocrisies, false teachings, and apostasy. So there's a lot of information. I'm gonna clip this website in the description. There's a lot of thumbnails here that you can look at. Jehovah's Witnesses must pay money by resolutions. The hand sign triangle, Hitler. You know, they do that. Jehovah's Witnesses, pagan exclusion practice since 1952. There's a lot of videos or a lot of articles on this website that will help anybody that's waking up. Also very good for us onliners. It gives us some stories that we can tell. So JWPSA has said we can use his stories. Now, Tron Jacobson this is one of the stories. He's excluded from the witnesses. This is the fella that is behind the website. And this is quite a long article. We'll cover some of it. He says on Tuesday, July 2024, he names Stein Patterson and Turgey Brendan elders. They excluded him from the Jehovah's Witnesses in the Moss congregation in Ostfold, Norway, and they were using their pagan exclusion practice introduced in 1952. So he says this is an ongoing post. You can read it. It's the story of Tron Jacobson. He was strong, clear, and independent in line with God's Word, the Bible, towards the power elite in the Jehovah's Witnesses. It is not permissible for a baptized Jehovah's Witness to think for himself, to make his own choices, or to scrutinize the beliefs, teachings of the Jehovah's Witnesses with sources other than JW's own publications. God's Word, the Bible, gives TJ and everyone else the authority to scrutinize their faith. Acts 17:11, the elders cannot stand that Tron Jacobson is a man who thinks for himself, makes decisions in line with the Bible. And the elders had to come up with something to silence him. So they accused him of being an apostate. Tron says he's not an apostate. He's not an apostate against Christ or the Bible. But I would say I'm an apostate against the Jehovah's Witness religion. That means the word apostate, it's not a bad word. I know when I first got introduced to it, it bothered me. But then I realized I want to be an apostate of the Jehovah's Witness religion. I want to be that because I'm against it. I'm not for it. That's what apostasy means. You're against it. Now, Jehovah's Witness governing body and elders use pagan exclusion practices. He goes on to talk about that. And it's when COVID-19 pandemic shut down Norway in 2020 that Tron decided to scrutinize the witnesses' teachings more carefully, using other publications. And the elders claimed that his website is an apostasy and refers to Jehovah's Witness publications, so Jehovah's Witnesses publications are also apostasy. Stein and Turge were exposed in the lies because they know that jwpsa.com exposes Jehovah's Witnesses in lies, hypocrisies, false teachings, and outright apostasy. So these elders probably complained to YouTube, had his channel shut down. Who has been a baptized Jehovah's Witness for over 30 years? TJ. He has not had a single true friend among the Jehovah's Witnesses. Jehovah's Witnesses have only been looking to exploit the practical qualities of him in order to get free labor. And the governing body and the elders have, by lying and hypocrite threats, fears, inducing false teachings, and show themselves to be outright apostates, and made Tron Jacobson a whistleblower. They are basically, biblically, and judicially responsible for having made Tron Jacobson deadly suicidal. And the governing body and the elders at the headquarter elders and the congregations and the branch office in Denmark must, of course, be held accountable for this. And the responsibility also applies to individuals in Jehovah's Witnesses. And the body of elders in Sarsborg congregation, they're held responsible for an attempted murder of him when he tried to end his life by suicide on train tracks south of Sparsborg town in Ostfjord, Norway, Saturday, April 20th, 2013. TJ sent a letter to the body of elders about this, but they denied the letter and refused to respond to the suicidal bullying they inflicted on TJ from 2011 to 2015. And when the body of elders fabricated a false accusation against TJ, themselves can answer which accusation they constructed to harm him psychologically. This is the first attempt. Letters to, feel free to write a letter in English to address below and ask for an explanation of why Christian Amnot and the body of elders blew up the text messages between him and Raquel Freakbird and froze Tron Jacobson out of the congregation. Why did Why did they instruct the congregation to bully him so that he attempted to commit suicide? And, wow, there's a lot of problems in Norway. Didn't realize there's this much problems internally in Norway. It's good that this comes out. And that's just a small country. Imagine some of these bigger countries where there's more witnesses. Letters to the board congregation. Feel free to write a letter. Ask for an explanation. There's the address, contact. I'll pin this all. You guys can look through it. And he talks about some of the other elders, Ron Ferruli and Benny Christensen. When they were elders, they imposed some harsh behavioral requirements on Trond Jacobsen, which they were not allowed to do and should not have. So the entire body of elders is held responsible for that, he says. Okay, well, we're going to go on to, I thought this was, he brings up the Elders book, and he talks about it. I think that's important, talking about the Elders book. This is how the elders are trained. I know we read it online, chapter by chapter, and we have a playlist on our site with just the Elders book. So it's no longer secret. So the God of the Bible, this is a good point, does not keep his book, the Bible, hidden from anyone. So why must Jehovah's Witness governing body and the elders have a secret internal book of justice, shepherding the flock? It's actually should be called disfellowshipping the flock, because there's no shepherding in that book. Now, when Jehovah's Witnesses practice secrecy, they confirm that they are a false religion. True religion practices no secrecy. In the Elders' book, Shepherding the Flock, or Disfellowshipping the Flock, I like to say, should be the only book you study with Jehovah's Witnesses, so that you get to know how the Jehovah's Witness governing body and the elders treat their members. The elders will possibly deny that there is any Elders' book, or say that it's confidential, or give no answer. But the Elders' book exists, and you should therefore have your own copy. Contact Jehovah's Witnesses and order the Elders' book, Shepherding the Flock. The governing body and the elders exercise a dictatorship and harsh and sharp internal justice against the members. And the elders' book is so secret that it does not exist, and even Jehovah and Jesus do not know about the elders' book. And if Jehovah's Witness governing body or anyone else mean that what is written on this page is wrong, bear witness about what's wrong. John 18 and 23 and 1 Peter 3 and 5. So everyone has a right to freedom of speech. Okay, we're going to look at this next article. This is Trond Jacobsen. This is his letter to the governing body, the world headquarters, and this is his letter of quitting. And he says, each member of Jehovah's Witness headquarters should read this letter and wake up. The website jwpsa.com exposes Jehovah's Witnesses in lies, hypocrisies, and false teachings. I'm not afraid to address the website to you, governing body, the elders, and to each member of the JW headquarters. It is a shame that Jehovah's Witnesses are so easily exposed in lies, hypocrisies, and false teachings. Shame on you, he says. It's a shame. Shame on you, JW governing body. So JWPSA exposed that Jehovah's Witnesses are a false religion and does not have Jehovah's approval. No one in the governing body is anointed. No one in the governing body has a heavenly hope. The governing body does not speak for God. The governing body shows by its lies, hypocrisy, and false teachings that you have Satan as your God and Father. And the governing body lies with number when you teach that Jehovah's Witnesses have a growth. And when you publish the grand total numbers in the wrong way, when you do not compare the numbers with the peak year, no one does hypocrisy like the Watchtower and Jehovah's Witness governing body. The governing body is fake, and when you order the members to pay a monthly fee via resolutions, the governing body lies, and they are hypocrites. And when you blame our internal pandemic with thousands of lawsuits with child sex abuse, CSA cases around the globe, on apostate-driven lies and dishonesty? Well, the governing body, they're false. And when you dare not or are unable to respond to the letters and emails from me about what I expose and publish on jwpsa.com, I, Trond Jacobsen, in the Moss congregation in Norway, have rejected the governing body's teachings about this overlapping generation. It is a false teaching and finds no support in the Bible because it's not in accordance with the teachings of Christ. He quotes some scriptures there. And the website jwpsa.com is my website and exposes Jehovah's Witnesses in lies, hypocrisies, and false teachings. And according to God's Word, the Bible, and Jehovah's Witness publications, jwpsa.com does not publish apostasy. Turge, Brendan, and Steen Patterson are lying when they say that jwpsa.com is clearly apostasy. And if jwpsa.com is so-called clear apostasy, then Jehovah's Witness publications and websites are also clearly apostasy. I agree. Because JWPSA refers to Jehovah's Witness publications and to the org. And when I told this to these elders, who are elders in the Moss congregation, they didn't dare answer it. They know that they themselves are lying and that his website exposes them. So here's his instructions to the elders. He says, I also know that the governing body instructs the elders to defend their false teachings, because if the elders defend God's word, the Bible, then they would immediately reject the overlapping generation of the governing body as a false teaching, as shown on his website and in the teaching of Christ in Matthew 24 and 34. And the last person in the governing body overlapping generation, Sophie whatever, died in 2008. And you can read more about it on his website. And he says, I question the teachings of the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses. I also question the spiritual qualifications to Jehovah's Witness governing body and elders. And Jehovah has nothing to do with false religion that Jehovah's Witnesses turn out to be. Shame on you, you Pharisees. So I, Trond Jacobsen, in the Moss congregation in Norway, cannot stand lies, hypocrisies, and false teachings, and therefore have no trust in Jehovah's Witness governing body or elders. You can read what I have exposed about you on my website. And he talks about Pharisees, Jehovah's Witness governing body, and the elders are more hypocritical and arrogant and much worse than the Pharisees of Jesus' time. And I would tend to agree with that. They are pharisaical. I learned that, I think I was about 32, and one of the elders came in to my home, violated my house, and I realized these guys are all pharisaical, all liars. That's why I could never be one. Now, hand signs. Jehovah's Witness governing body, the elders and others in the organization, and Hitler honored the same hand sign as shown fellowship with Hitler in Satan's world. Use the hand sign 666 in the devil's horn and it shows you're part of Satan's world. Jehovah's Witnesses governing body. So let's take a look at that hand sign. I really don't know what it is. I'll look it up. Okay, I guess it's a thing. AI says if you use the hand sign 666 in the devil horns, hand gesture, it would generally be interpreted as a deliberate and overt reference to Satanism or the occult, as both symbols are widely associated with evil and demonic forces in popular culture. And the explanation 666, this number is known as the mark of the beast in the book of Revelation. It's the most prominent symbol. And the devil horns, while being the origin of the hand gesture, is debated. It's widely recognized as a symbol of rock and heavy metal music, often linked to devilish imagery prevailing in the genre with evil or rock. Maybe Kingdom Melodies, we could throw that in there. It's to do with Kingdom Melodies. Okay, everyone, let's give the Kingdom Melodies a big hit. I don't know. While these signs might be used playfully or ironically in some situations, using them together in a serious manner would likely be interpreted as deliberate statement about Satanism. And be mindful of the potential offenses these symbols can cause to people who hold strong religious views. So this is a thing, these hand signs. Maybe some of these elders are using them. The governing body we've seen use different hand signals. They use these a lot. I don't know what this means. What does this mean? I don't know, that they're more powerful than everyone else. All their fingers are pointing at you. So I notice Elon Musk uses this all the time. It's like he's that's a whole nother dictator story that we're not going to get into. But these hand signs, they're out there. Now, Pascal Petit, porn star for JW. Yeah, that was in their Live Forever book. The girl in their paradise was a porn star, and they stole that picture and used it. So how does the governing body defend using an image of a French porn star, Pascal Petit, in our literature? How much money did you pay for that picture, or did you pay hush money for the picture? These are all questions that the governing body would never tell us. He's asking. Elders book, Shepherding the Flock. Shepherding the Flock of God, the Elders book is so secret that Jehovah and Jesus do not know about it, but I know about it, and I refer to it. Experience shows that Jehovah's Witness governing body and elders are afraid of the truth about yourselves, and therefore you deny and you refuse to answer in writing to my letters and emails. And I still ask you to respond in writing to this letter, which you send directly to my street address, which you see at the top of this letter. And if Jehovah's Witness governing body believes that you are the only true Christians, are Jehovah's anointed and God's only spokesman on earth, then it's easy for you to defend your faith and teaching by using God's word, the Bible, and respond in writing to this letter, but doing so with a mild temper and deep respect. Now, if Jehovah's Witness governing body or anybody else means that what I have written in this letter is wrong, well, then tell me. Bear witness about it. And now he goes on to talk about lobby, Jehovah's Witnesses governing body. Excuse me. Okay. They have been exposed politically and actively by lobbying. And the receipt that is published on his website shows that they have spent a little under 60,000 US dollars, and the money is paid with members' contributions or is with other sources of income that Jehovah's Witnesses are exposed to have. And Jehovah's Witnesses are not neutral in Satan's world as you claim in the literature. Shame on you, you hypocrites and you Pharisees. Truth does not mind being questioned. A lie does not like being challenged. And jwpsa.com is powerful, safe, and very useful for everyone inside and outside JW organization to read. Especially you and the governing body and the elders. I await your written reply shortly. They'll never give it. Regards, Trond Jacobson, brother in the Moss Congregation, Norway. Okay, very well done. Write a letter right to the horse's mouth. At least you get the letter out. You feel like you said something, you got it out. You said your piece. And they will attack you. They'll call YouTube and say that you violated their laws. This just means you're doing your job right, exposing them. Okay, so I think we covered everything on this. Does YouTube have restrictions? Yes, it does. And I'm going to do a video. I kind of went off script the other day and I spoke about Revelation, the Revelation book. So I have a video coming up. It will be on the Revelation book. I'm going to do a correction. Okay, folks, well, that brings an end to this story. The story on YouTube deleted my channel. So the story is on, let's get the name right here, Trond Jacobson. He's excluded from the witness. He was in there for 30 years. 30 years. And it's a shame when you're in there doing everything and donating all your time and the building work and these kingdom halls, and then you kind of wake up and you have some questions and then you're shunned and then you're kicked out. That's a shame. But that's how it is in this religion. We've all come to accept that. And that's why we're all online. That's why we all advocate this to the world, so we can help the world to understand that this is definitely a cult. Well, thanks again. And like I always say, keep living your life with love. Cults don't do that. They live their life with fear. They instill fear upon people. So there's no installation of love You get out of that. It's easy to live your life with love and to smile, be happy, enjoy life. Go for a walk with the dog, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the snow that's outside. But it will come to green grass. Green grass will come. And we can enjoy all our seasons, all our 4 seasons up here in Canada. Well, thanks again, folks, and we'll see you on the next video. And don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to reach 100,000 here. And it's only by you guys subscribing and sharing the videos that we can do that. And by reaching 100,000, we're going to get these videos out to the whole world of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, hopefully. Right now, we're just reaching a few people. But that's how you get a channel going. And you guys are our support. So thank you again for all of you guys that have been out there supporting us. We do have a coffee club. If you want to join it, you just join it. It's something like $2.99 a month. And it helps us keep the channel running. We also host a Discord channel. My good wife puts a lot of work into it. She's on there almost full time. And she's developed this platform that ex-JWs can come into. And there's therapy sessions Sunday mornings with Lucy. Ruby Quinn is on there all the time. She's hosting movies. She has movies booked up until April. There's movie nights. And there's all kinds of channels on if you want to know more about the Bible, if you want to know more about other stuff that's not the Bible. There's all kinds of different areas. You see, as an ex-JW, we can allow our minds to go different ways, and we can do research, and we can make our own choices. We do not have a plastic brain. We do not have a brain. We're not a monkey in a cage no longer. We're not suppressed with fear. So we have the ability to get to know people and really start to see what life is about. So thanks again, folks. And if you haven't subscribed yet, like I say, this is your chance to subscribe. I appreciate it. And I don't know what else to say. Like and share the videos. And we will hit 100,000. Thanks again. Bye for now.